So it looks like J. Prince should have just sat there and ate his food instead of getting involved with the Drake and Kendrick drama, because he is getting dragged for filth over all of it. He has been running the streets of Houston, Texas for a long time, but the moment he got involved in this drama, people who knew his secret activities have been dragging him for filth and exposing him for working as a handler for Hollywood elites. There are now reports that he has allegedly been unaliving rappers on orders of some very powerful people, and Schoolboy Q is more than willing to spill the tea, and he brought some hard evidence to back his claims. Y'all need to get in on this drama real quick, because it's about to be a crazy hot mess. Okay, so y'all remember how Schoolboy Q pulled up to Houston this month, right? Well, it turns out that he was there for more than just a performance, because he made a crazy power move right in J. Prince Jr.'s face. He dragged the whole checking in thing that J. Prince demands from rappers visiting Houston, dragging it as the outdated joke it is. And let's be real, he's kinda got a point. Now, for some reason, J. Prince is still out here playing these street games, trying to extort cash from his own people. But according to Schoolboy Q, it allegedly goes beyond just extortion, because word in the streets is that this little scheme might have even cost some lives. But let's rewind for a minute. Y'all might think that the origins of this extortion game just started with rap and hip-hop, but it goes way deeper than that. We can trace it all the way back to the 18th century Italy, where the mafia were the OGs of the pay up or face the consequences hustle. And when they made their way to the US, cities like Chicago, New York, and Philly were caught in their grip, trembling at their demands. Of course, American street gangs and organized crime rings picked up on the playbook, and before long, extortion became a dark thread woven into hip-hop culture. With rap money flowing in, these groups wanted their piece of the pie, and extortion is practically ingrained in hip-hop's fabric today, and even the biggest stars couldn't dodge it. Take Tupac, for example. In 2011, some mind-blowing FBI files dropped, revealing that the Jewish Defense League had been shaking down Tupac and other rap legends like Eazy-E. The feds claimed that JDL was making death threats against these artists, only to turn around and offer them protection for a fee, of course. It was like a twisted insurance scheme with a side of life-threatening drama. And Eazy-E, he was on their radar too, right before he tragically passed away from AIDS. The FBI even hinted that these threats might have been made towards Tupac before his murder in Vegas. Well, street gangs are still up to their old tricks, insisting that rappers check in whenever they visit their city. The idea is to guarantee these artists can move around without getting mugged or worse. In return, the rappers either pay up for protection or let local artists open for them at their shows. It's like buying a pass to move safely, but sometimes the cost isn't just about money, it could be your life. But let's get into some of these high-profile cases caught into the situation. Remember when Kanye West had that unsettling encounter in Philly? He was just grabbing a meal with friends at a diner when a group of shady guys showed up, but they didn't even order, they just sat there watching them, without even trying to hide the fact that they were targeting him. Kanye knew what was up, and he had to hide his jewelry and keep a low profile as the tension rose. That's when Beanie Siegel, aka the Broad Street Bully, stepped in and asked the boys to stand down, making it clear that Kanye was under his protection and no one was going to mess with Kanye on his watch.
Yeah, he started to get kind of nervous and he called you up.
No, he didn't call me up personally.
Well, somehow it got you.
You know, two ways you could put out the blast. It could go to everybody who was, yeah, you put the blast out that he felt threatened.
Right.
Yeah.
And you showed up.
Yeah.
And from what I heard, you let them know that nothing was gonna happen to Kanye.
Nah.
That's not how it went down.
Yeah,
well, no,
I'm saying, yeah,
okay,
nah, nothing was gonna happen to him. Not while I was there, nothing was gonna happen to him.
And if you think that Philly's hardcore, just wait until you hear about Detroit. The Motor City plays by its own rules, and it's because of a guy named Trick Trick. When rappers come to Detroit, they better know about the no-fly zone. Trick Trick laid down the law, show respect and pay your dues or you're not performing in this city. On the Drink Champs podcast, he shared how back in the day, record labels would come to Detroit, making money off local artists while exploiting the city's talent. Well, Trick Trick wasn't about to let that slide. He made sure that only the locals were reaping the rewards of Detroit's music scene. And for those bold enough to ignore the no-fly zone, they quickly found out that Trick Trick was dead serious.
Let me ask you, Trick Trick, because I don't understand, what is the no-fly zone? What does that mean? Because I mean, I've come to Detroit and had marvelous times.
We shot movies together in Detroit.
So, but what is this no fly zone mean?
It was for record labels.
Okay.
When record labels used to have like street teams, and that was back in the A&R days. You know, they would have a promo team, take the artists. You know, A&R take the artists to different locations, and it was like they were just coming to Detroit and wasn't picking up nothing. And it was like they would charge the local artists to perform. They would charge the local artists to perform, and the local artists would bring 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 people sometimes to this event that will pay to get in. It's like, how is you charging them and they bringing you revenue?
Wow.
You know, and then, you know, when it kept happening with the little homies and they was just doing it because they got money, like, you know, fuck that, man.
Meaning paying to
it was just so much.
Their own stage, technically.
Exactly. And it was radio as well. Like, you know, the Summer Jams events didn't consist of mostly Detroit artists. They consist of everybody from everywhere else, and the Detroit artists would get charged.
Wow.
And I was like, fuck that. Stop everything. Wow. Now the only entertainment around this bitch gonna be what's here.
Right.
So we gonna get acquainted with what we got around these corners, and then we'll start letting a few trinklets in one at a time. And if anybody violated, we'll deal with that accordingly, you know.
And if you think this is limited to small artists alone, you better know you got some shocking news coming to you. Because Rick Ross, who was then one of the biggest artists in the world and was in his prime, got a crash course on how real the no-fly zone can be. When Ross attempted to perform in Detroit without showing proper respect, he quickly discovered that Trick meant business. The show was called off, and Ross couldn't even enter the venue. It was a bold move and a clear message that in some cities, you either follow the rules or you don't get to play. When questioned about the incident, Ross downplayed it, brushing it off as a typical day. His crew arrived at the venue first, only to find it locked up tight, and they knew the trouble was coming.
Yo, we went out to Detroit, you know, we had a gig to go to, you know, so the team head over, you know, to the gig. And, you know, I got my team, so my team is always in front of me, you know, just to make it clear. I never even made it to the venue.
Okay.
I never made it to the venue. Me and whoever this gentleman is, we never crossed paths. He never spoke with Rose. And I expect him to clarify that. I expect him, you know, to tell y'all, we never talked to Rose, we never spoke to MMG. But anyway, you know, the caravan on the way to the venue, and, you know, they get there and someone has locked the gates to the venue. Padlocked or however they did it, the gate was locked. It was gentlemen supposed to be here. This I didn't see myself.
Okay.
It was supposed to be gentlemen here who were talking with the police, and it was very peaceful. You know, for my team that made it, you know,
there before you.
Right. You know, they didn't even know it was a problem, you know, and so.
Ross never came face to face with the so-called enforcers, thinking they'd eventually back down and admit they weren't up for the confrontation. Meanwhile, he relaxed at Greektown Casino, waiting for the promoter to sort out the mess. Instead of getting answers, Ross heard whispers about a gang making a show of their power. He let the rumors swirl, hoping someone would clarify the situation. But when that didn't happen, Ross decided to take matters into his own hands. And here's where things get interesting, because Ross got his payout, likely a hefty one, but couldn't shake his frustration over his fans who were left waiting at a locked venue. For Ross, it wasn't a personal issue, it was business. Still, something didn't sit right with him. And if you're trying to prove your strength, why shut out the real players? Ross put it perfectly.
For whatever reason they did this, I don't understand it. Because if it's somebody that's supposed to be from the jungle, in the jungle you don't lock the lions out. You let the lions in and lock them in. That's when you get your confrontation, if that's what you want, and that's when you get your...
Now let's talk about the baby, because he ended up in a similar situation, but handled it his own way. Y'all know that the baby don't back down for nothing, and he tried to fight the system. He was shooting a music video in East Atlanta when a local gang showed up, looking to challenge him and squeeze out some money.
I don't know nothing I ain't get told about. Nah, ain't none of that going on. Look, like I say, I fuck with all the little youngers out there. That's cool. But they're cool. Hey, well, they're cool. They ain't got to fuck with me, but I ain't signing no permission slip nowhere. That ain't what I do. Hey, look. If you wanted to come politic, you could have came in politics. Hey, that's all good, big homie. They said he could have just came in politics. You know, that's what real niggas do. I ain't no peewee. But check out what I'm saying. I ain't no peewee though, so it don't go like that. It gotta be respect. It gotta be respect.
Unlike Ross, who didn't even get to the venue, the baby found himself right in the thick of it. But like I said, he's stubborn as F and wasn't about to let anybody tell him where he could and could not be. He stood 10 toes down on big business, making it clear that he would never have to check in with anyone. It wasn't going to start now. The situation was intense, but the baby ended up walking away with his confidence intact, showing that he was not someone to be played with. The bottom line, both Ross and the baby faced off against local power players, but their approaches were worlds apart. Ross kept his cool, biding his time for someone else to resolve the issue, whereas the baby confronted the situation directly, standing his ground. These were two distinct strategies, but they both underscore that in the cutthroat world of hip-hop, respect isn't given, it's earned, and sometimes you have to fight for it and take it. In an interview with Vlad TV, the baby spilled some tea about a close encounter that could have gone ugly in a heartbeat.
With so many cameras around, I doubt anything would have happened. But then again, people do act stupid. And you know, egos come into play and so forth. Did you feel that it could have gone wrong?
Yeah, your guy was on their side. Your guy was on their side, you know what I mean? It worked out perfect for him. You know, it worked out perfect for him. I really had just ordered, like, you seen like that film, like all them people out there, like the film crew. Yeah, I had just came down, it was just me and my brother. But I had just ordered like pieces for like the whole film crew and shit, so everybody could, you know, everybody could eat and shit. You know what I mean? I like, bro, go grab the pieces and shit, bro. I went to grab the pieces for the whole film crew. And like I had on like little shorts and shit, so, you know, I had to lighten up. I had on little shorts in order for me to do my little dance and shit and, you know, do what I do. Like I had to lighten up, so it worked out perfect for him.
But you could tell that he enjoyed reliving the moment because he kind of won. I mean, there were cameras everywhere, everyone trying to keep it professional, but you know these men have huge and fragile egos, so things could have gone really, really wrong real fast. However, the baby kept his cool, but it was clear he knew that things could have spiraled out of control. Oh, and let's not forget Mr. J. Prince, the Houston veteran and Drake's former sugar daddy, because J. Prince has been offering Drake protection and street cred for a long, long time. The Prince family name has been associated with the dubious and sneaky dealings for years, but recently he's been in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. For example, when NBA YoungBoy's house got robbed in Houston back in July 2020, J. Prince publicly offered to return the stolen items, which many saw as a not-so-subtle display of his power. It was clear as day that he was trying to flex his power, and he wasn't even trying to hide it.
I got a call, because the little homie young boy, the place got broke into. People went in his place, disrespected different things, and you know, I got a call about it. And the little homies that went into this place want to make that right, because they understand that, you know what I mean, young boy family is okay with me. And as you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce, I got your keys to your McLaren, you know, all that shit that they took. And the homie, Shakur, what you got, homie?
We got your Rolls Royce umbrellas, we got your keys, we got a bunch of other shit, so get in contact with us, bro. Get your shit back.
But NBA YoungBoy wasn't here for it. He hopped on IG Live and let J. Prince know exactly how he felt about the public stunt.
I don't know new relationships. All that pussy and shit, hey, I don't respect none of that shit, man. If you got something for me, man, they got plenty of niggas around me you could call. Man, nigga, it's plenty ways you could get in touch with me. Man, don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. Don't do nothing dealing with no fucking publicity, none of that pussy and shit. And I'm good on the keys, gangster. When you buy shit cash, two keys come with the car anyway. Mind your fucking business, man.
And let's not overlook this heartbreaking incident involving Migos Takeoff, who was shot and killed in Houston while allegedly under the protection of J. Prince's son. Jazz Prince. Ever since rumors have been swirling with fans speculating that Kendrick Lamar might have aimed a shot at the Prince family in his track Euphoria, Kendrick seemed to subtly warn J. Prince to steer clear of his feud with Drake, suggesting his son could be exposed if he didn't. Now, while this buzz is real, the actual facts remain unclear. Meanwhile, Schoolboy Q from Kendrick's TDE squad has no time for the so-called checking in routine. He dismissed it as cap. He can't understand why rappers feel the need to integrate themselves with people they hardly know just because they're passing through their city.
Rumors that LA is probably one of the most dangerous places for rappers. Do you believe that's true?
Yeah. Because, I mean, everybody be checking in. That's your favorite thing to do, check in with somebody that's gonna rob your stupid ass.
Right.
Wow.
Yo, you think that guy, the guy that you don't know, motherfucker, in California got your back? The guy that got beef with other hoods and all this, you checking into that dude?
Right.
Bro, just go to the hotel, get you something to eat, go back to the hotel.
Do your business.
Go have some fun.
Right.
Where shit is fun. Why do you want to go over there?
Right.
For what?
Right.
Don't call me.
Right.
Oh, it said motherfuckers be having a nerve to call me sometime. Like,
The logistics alone seem weird. You come into the city and have to check in no matter who you are if you're famous? That's weird. But word on the streets is that Drake, believing he had Houston in his corner thanks to J. Prince, tried to pull a fast one on Schoolboy Q by allegedly getting 2 of his Canadian shows canceled. However, when Drake tried the same trick in Houston, it didn't go as planned. It seems J. Prince is no longer Team Drake and has no interest in playing along with Drake's antics. And on August 3rd, Schoolboy Q took the stage at the House of Blues in Houston, performing to a full house. Fans were quick to call out Drake for thinking he could dictate things in Houston from afar. Meanwhile, J. Prince is getting criticism for still trying to play this mafia-style tough guy. The fans have been all over it, leaving comments saying, after Takeoff's death, he lost all respect. That kid didn't deserve to go out like that. Finally, a rapper with common sense. Check-in culture is beyond stupid. And Schoolboy grew up in a LA gang and knows exactly how this works. He seems to have separated himself from the gang life and even mentioned his biggest regret was not doing a song with Nipsey Hussle, who was from a rival hood. But I gotta know what y'all think about this. Drop your thoughts and comments below and then check out this next video.